Hello, hello. Survival Hunter then has completely changed in the War Within pre-patch. Yes, I'm really just jumping straight into this one. So here we are in game. If you are new here, hello, I'm Javier. I'm going to be showing you today how the hell you are going to be playing Survival Hunter now that it's all changed, yet the War Within hasn't actually arrived yet. So we're in a really, really weird transitionary phase at the moment, and I'm going to guide you through. Just like a lighthouse, and you're the sailors, and I'm the lighthouse. And there's some big dodgy rocks coming your way. So obviously, we can't use our hero talents yet because we're not level 71. I actually used to hate Survival Hunter. I'm not going to lie to you. I think I really like it now that it's changed. So actually, one of the really big changes we should probably talk over is actually your Spirit Bond Mastery. It now actually encompasses all of your Hunter damage. You and your pet deal 15% increased damage and take 3% reduced damage. The bonus is increased by 100% when you're within 25 yards of each other. So you are just the best of friends. If you don't know, this used to just be focus spending abilities. So TLDR, Mastery is now a lot better for Survival Hunters. I'm not going to go through the specifics of the stat priority in this video, reasoning being, if you're watching this, it's very likely that you already have all of your Season 4 gear. I mean, we are literally only going to have it for a few more weeks after all. And this is going to be a bit or a lot more shallow than my usual guides. If you are new here, like I said, I usually go through everything in a very beginner-focused, digestible format, which this still will be, but I'm just not going to be going through it as in-depth. I'm just going to be showing you what the hell we're doing for the next few weeks. Now, if you have been playing, Survival a long time, we're still using our kill command, generating focus, and we are still using other things to basically spend that focus, and it is still melee. Hunter's Mark, obviously going on still before we go into combat. No brainer there. We do now have Tip of the Spear. Kill command increases the direct damage of your other spells by 15%, and that can stack up to 3 times. A little bit similar to how Beast Mastery works, I feel, with their frenzy that you put on the pets, except rather than on the pet, it's kind of on us in survival, which I think is really, really interesting, and I do think I like it. To be clear here, this is the current Mythic Plus build. This here is going to be the raiding build and single target build. Voila, there you go. You can see we're taking Killer Companion, where kill command damage is increased. We're taking Spearhead and Deadly Duo, and also Mongoose Bite. This is going to replace your Raptor Strike. So in Mythic Plus, you're using Raptor Strike. If you then go into raid and you're like, well, where is it? It's now Mongoose Bite. Okay, that completely replaces it. If you're really getting confused around those two spells, that is what is happening. We do have the Grenade Juggler talent here. Wildfire Bomb deals 5% increased damage and has a 25% chance to cast an explosive shot at your target at 100% effectiveness. Explosive Shot reduces the cooldown of your Wildfire Bomb. So using Explosive Shot helps get your Wildfire Bomb off cooldown quicker. And then over this one, yep, Sulfur-lined pockets. Every 3 quick shots is replaced with an explosive shot, again at 100% effectiveness. So we're getting a lot more explosive shots coming out as well in this build. And actually, there is one more other talent. Here it is, Ranger. Kill Shot, Serpent Sting, Arcane Shot, Steady Shot, and Explosive Shot deal 20% increased damage. So another added damage there to your Explosive Shot. TLDR, we are liking Explosive Shot in this build. And again, just like our Mastery, our Tip of the Spear is increasing, kill command is increasing direct damage for all spells. It did used to just be Mongoose Bite. So just like our Mastery, where it used to just be focus spenders, Tip of the Spear is now actually for kind of all of our abilities. And what I think this is doing for survival is, one, making it more beginner friendly. One of the reasons I used to hate it is because it was just so overly complex, similar to Arcane Mage and Enhancement Shaman. And don't get me wrong, I thought they were fantastic specs. I loved them, and I cover them in depth on this channel every season. However, some people, I get a lot of questions of Arcane Mage where people really want to play it because it's so cool, but it was just too complex for them. And I do think the really unique playstyle of the melee weaving kind of bomb throwing hunter in survival is really, really cool. And that class fantasy is awesome. but it did have a lot of nuances that have been tidied up, shall we say, for still keeping it really unique and really interesting and quite, advanced if you want it to be, but also more beginner friendly in how it is now with the talents I've just explained. One other humongous difference is if you already know Survival Hunter, you will know that you had Shrapnel Bomb, Wildfire Bomb, and, oh my God, what was the third one called? Volatile Bomb. No, it was Volatile and Pheromone, and then it was all under your Wildfire Bomb, right? So basically, when you use your bombs, it would cycle different bombs, and you'd want to use each different bomb at different times on the same ability, which is nuts. I think it was so overly advanced and complex, and it didn't need to be. That is now just Wildfire Bomb. So basically, Wildfire Bomb used to be 3 different abilities, and every time you use it, the ability and what it would do would change. Now it is just one ability. So there's also a massive amount of complexity removed there. It's had a huge rework. I think that there is some more in this that has changed, but I don't want to overwhelm you. Like, coordinated assault has changed a bit and stuff. I don't want to. I feel like I'm going to start actually overwhelming you with what I'm explaining that's being simplified. So rather than going through the changes, let's actually just now look at how we're going to play the new rotation. Okay, so this here that you can see, in order of priority from left to right, is the main priority list. First things first, then, what we're going to use? Well, we're going to put our Hunter's Mark, obviously, on before we go in, and we're going to obviously have our pet out. We're going to go in, basically, with Coordinated Assault. It's our main cooldown, and we're going to use it on cooldown. You and your pet charge your enemy, striking them for combined damage. You and your pet's bond is then strengthened for 20 seconds, causing you and your pet to deal 20% increased damage. So you zoom in, doing damage, and then do more damage. Let's just put our pet on defensive. You then do more damage for the next 20 seconds, basically. While Coordinated Assault is active, so for those 20 seconds, Kill Command's chance to reset its cooldown is increased by 15%. You can see here, Kill Command has a 20% chance to immediately reset its own cooldown. That Coordinated Assault will add to that cooldown reduction chance. As soon as we have used our Coordinated Assault, we're then going to use Spearhead. We're not going to sit here chatting for hours and then use it like I just have. We're going to use it instantly. So we're going to use our Coordinated Assault. We're then immediately going to use our Spearhead. You give the signal and your pet charges your target, bleeding them for X amount of damage over 10 seconds and increasing your chance to critically hit your target by 30% for 10 seconds. So we're going to use Coordinated Assault so we can do more damage to the target. And then we're going to actually use that with Spearhead, so we've then got an increased crit chance. More damage, increased crit, equals more damage overall, of course. Now, the next bit is a little bit interesting. So the next priority on the list is not actually the spell we're going to use next. I'm going to show you, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Tip of the Spear is the next top priority, right? Kill Command increases the direct damage of your other spells by 15%, stacking up to 3 times. We haven't used Kill Command yet, so obviously we don't have Tip of the Spear to spend. If you do have Tip of the Spear to spend, you're going to use it in this order, okay? Flanking Strike, Wildfire Bomb, Kill Shot. Flanking Strike, then. If we have none, or we have 1 Tip of the Spear stacks, we're going to use Flanking Strike. So we're going to use this if we've got no stacks, or if we've got 1. Right now we have none, so we would use this. You and your pet leap to the target and strike it as 1, dealing damage. Flanking Strike generates 2 tips. 2 tips. Flanking Strike generates 2 stacks of Tip of the Spear. So if we've got 0 stacks of it, or 1, we're then going to use this, and then we're going to have 2 stacks of it. It's not on my weak aura. I think that's because I haven't updated my weak aura. It probably should be on here if I update that. But it's in your buff bar, which is behind my camera for me, but you'll get 2 stacks of that buff I showed you in the talents. Then, if you have 2 stacks of it, which like then, we've had 0, now we've got 2, we're then going to use our Wildfire Bomb. So if you've got 2 stacks of Tip of the Spear, use Wildfire Bomb. If you haven't got 2 stacks, we're going to use over Kill Shot, if we can. If not, Explosive Shot. So kind of using it in that order with our Tip of the Spear Tip of the Spear stacks, okay? Just to go through it again so far, because it is getting a tad complex already. Use Coordinated Assault. Immediately then use your Spearhead. Then you're going to have no stacks of Tip of the Spear, so we're going to use our Flanking Strike, which will generate 2. We're then going to use that on Wildfire Bomb. If, of course, Flanking Strike is on cooldown, we're not going to be generating 2 strikes. We're going to be generating the stacks with our Kill Command. So We've then got some stacks of it. We're going to use our Wildfire Bomb. We're then going to use it again, and we can use that. Oh, it's on cooldown. So when we're using our kill command, then it's going to be on to the next one, which will be our explosive shot. Does that make sense? So use your coordinated assault, then use your spearhead, then use your flanking strike pretty much on cooldown, spending those tip of the spear stacks on Wildfire Bomb. If that's on cooldown, it'll be kill shot. If you can't use kill shot, because kill shot can only be used at 20% health and lower. It's an execute. It does lots of damage, but only at 20% health and lower. Then we're going to move on to explosive shot. Oh, we can't use explosive shot. We're then going to have to move on to kill command. If we're not going to overcap focus like we are here, because we are pretty much maxed out, then we are going to move on to using our Wildfire Bomb again. If we do have any tips of the spear to use. And then after that, it's pretty much just going to be Mongoose Bite. And you can basically use this as your focus spender, as you can see here, and therefore it is a filler spell. So again, coordinated assault, then spearhead on cooldown, then flanking strike on cooldown. Spend your tip of the spear stacks with Wildfire Bomb, then spend them on kill shot if Wildfire Bomb is on cooldown, then spend them on explosive shot if both of those cannot be used. Otherwise, use your kill command if you will not overstack your focus. If I'm going to overstack focus here, then basically I'm just going to use my Wildfire Bomb and then use my Mongoose Bite. And I can use that, say, 2 times, and now I can use my kill command because we're not going to overstack on our focus. Any focus that is like overcapping is basically wasted. That is the way I see it. But that is basically the basic rotation that you're going to be using. It's fairly simple once you get used to the stacks. And I just want to show you, I don't want to be lazy as a YouTuber here. So I'm just going to use my flanking strike. And can you see up here where my mouse is? There's the tip of the spear stack. See, your next non-kill command spell deals 20% more increased damage. And you can see then it's going to stack up to 3 and no more than 3. I've got 2 stacks or more, so I'm going to use my Wildfire Bomb. And I've got 1 stack left, so I'm going to, or 2 stacks, I think, so I'm going to use my explosive shot. So again, coordinate assault, immediately use spearhead, use your flanking strike on cooldown. If you've got 2 stacks of tip of the spear, use your Wildfire Bomb. We haven't got any, so we're going to use, well, actually, we're going to use flanking strike. Now we've got 2. Then we're going to use our Wildfire Bomb. It will only spend 1 stack. It won't spend both stacks. So we've got 1 stack left, and therefore I'd use it on explosive shot, but I can't. So therefore I'm going to use kill command. Then I'm going to use my Wildfire Bomb. I'm overcapping on focus, so I'm going to use Mongoose Bite. And that is the rotation. I love how much simpler it is now. Let's take a step back, because this is for single target, remember? And now let's have a look what we're going to do and change for the over my talents. And I'm also going to move myself back where I belong. Oh, golly gosh. Spearhead's on cooldown. Well, I'm actually going to just twiddle my thumbs for a minute. And for you, it'll be about 1 second in the video because I'll cut it out. Okay, so for you, this is going to sound weird because it's only a second later, but for me, it's a minute. We can now change our talents over. I like changing the talents while you guys are watching because you can physically see what is actually changing in front of your own eyes. Magic, I know, groundbreaking. So really, the only main one is going to be butchery that we're actually changing in here. And this is the rotation for Mythic Plus. So it is fairly similar. We're going to use coordinated assault, and then we're going to use our flanking strike. Again, still generating tip of the spear. If we then have 2 stacks of Wildfire Bomb, then we're going to use it. Then we're going to use kill shot. Then we're going to use explosive shot. And I want to be really clear here. In the Mythic Plus AoE rotation, we're not caring so much about, oh, have we got 2 stacks of tip of the spear here? I am point blank telling you, use flanking strike and then use Wildfire Bomb if you have 2 stacks of Wildfire Bomb. I'm not talking about 2 stacks of tip of the spear. I'm saying 2 stacks of Wildfire Bomb. Then just use kill shot. Then just use explosive shot if you can. Again, no mention of tip of the spear here. Again, we are then going to use kill command if we will not overstack focus, which we are, and we can generate tip of the spear. So now we're starting to talk about. If we then have tip of the spear, then we're going to use Wildfire Bomb at this point. But remember, we should only have 1 charge of it if we're down here, because we're using it here if we're capping on 2 charge. Then we're going to be using our Raptor or Mongoose Bite. In this build, we haven't spec'd into Mongoose Bite, and therefore it hasn't replaced our Raptor Strike. And we're going to be using this to spend Merciless Blows. So that is one of the Mythic Plus talents I've told you to take. Casting Butchery makes your next Raptor Strike or Mongoose Bite hit 3 targets. Okay? So when we use Butchery, that's going to make our next Raptor Strike now hit 3 targets. And therefore, this is the AoE Mythic Plus rotation. So we're going to only use it if we have that buff, which we will if we spend our Butchery. So use Butchery and then use Raptor Strike, basically. So technically, you could put that here and here. If you're like, Javier, well, shouldn't I be using this in priority of this? Technically, no, because this is the priority list I'm showing you, meaning you're using this as a priority if we have the buff from this. If we don't have the buff, then we're going to use that. This is how I like to set up my rotation bars to make it easier. You may disagree, and that's fine, of course. I'm just going to take out this crap because we're not using this in the rotation. It's just changed over. And then actually we're just going to use Mongoose Bite. So let's say we've used our Butchery and then our Raptor Strike, etc. And then we've used all our Butchery stacks. Then you can just use Raptor Strike as a filler. So again, I'm just going to go through the Mythic Plus rotation. We're going to use Coordinated Assault and immediately after use Flanking Strike. We're not going to cap on our Wildfire Bombs. We're going to then use Kill Shot and Explosive Shot if we can. We're going to use Kill Command if we're not going to cap, which we are. If we've then got 1 stack of Wildfire Bomb left, we're going to use it here. And then we're going to use Butchery if we have no stacks of... oh my god, I've forgotten what it's even called. Changing things, and I'm trying to remember it all. Merciless Blows. If we have that buff, we're then going to use that, and then use that. Basically kind of going back and forth to here, and obviously up the rotation back on the priority list. Because you shouldn't be going down this left to right in order. You should be going back up because it's a priority list. So right now I'd use Wildfire Bomb, then Explosive Shot. And then I'm going to use my Kill Command. It's nearly capping, or even did still cap. Then I'm going to use Butchery, and then I'm going to use Raptor Strike. Then I'm going to use my Wildfire Bomb, then Kill Command, because I don't want to overcap on focus, using Butchery, and then Raptor Strike. And then I'm like, oh, what shall I use? Then Wildfire Bomb, again, using Kill Command twice here, because we're not overcapping. And then I'm going to be using Butchery and Raptor Strike, and then obviously back to Flanking Strike, using our Explosive Shot, Kill Command, Butchery, Raptor Strike, Wildfire Bomb. Because I'm filming, I'm not doing obviously the perfect rotation, but that is generally how I would use it. A lot of you often comment saying, Javier, we want to see you just doing like 30 seconds of the rotation in practice. Well, there you bloody go. Here you go. So hopefully that is helpful. But that is how you're going to play the Mythic Plus and also the raid rotations in the pre-patch of the War Within. Hopefully that was really helpful for you guys. I'm really trying to do all of the specs as a priority. I've had massive changes because everyone's like, what the hell are we meant to be doing? Well, this is what you're meant to be doing. So hopefully it is helpful. One thing I will say before I go, if you did enjoy this video, of course, please leave a thumbs up, leave a thumbs down if you didn't, but thank you for watching either way. If you want my UI, then please do join the Patreon. I can actually help you out one-on-one on Patreon. If you're watching this and you've got any questions, just DM me on Patreon and I will literally help you work through the spec or any questions or, you know, anything that you may have. Otherwise, you can comment, of course, and I can try and help where I can there. I do get hundreds of comments every day on my videos, so it is difficult. And also, of course, joining Patreon really helps me out. You can also join the Discord. We do have a really amazing community, and we have some class experts as well that are really helpful. None for Hunter, though, but still, I can help you in the VIP Patreon channel. And if you are looking for other class guides for the pre-patch, click this playlist here. I'm doing as many as I can at the moment. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the War Within, because I will be doing guides for, you know, level 80 the second that the War Within launches. You best believe it.